This is Robert Frezza, and we're with the Cribs, and this is for Examiner.com. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing, Robert?
I'm doing so well. And you guys are based out of, you're a brother band, based on three brothers,
three
right?
brothers.
And you're originally from England, but can you explain the U.S. Portland connection?
Right, well, I've lived in Portland since 2007, and Ryan's lived in New York since 2012.
Yeah.
So we're technically a British band, but like we're just not very British anymore, you know. Like
Assimilated.
I've been in America longer than I've been in Britain in the time that I've been in the band. So when we first started out, we were much more influenced by American music anyway. So we're kind of like we're either a fake British band or a fake American band.
Where's the band based today? Is you guys are all living here now?
We just all spread out.
Depends where we are at the time, really. A lot of this record got written in Portland, and then the previous record, a lot of it got written in Wakefield, right? So it just depends wherever we are, really.
Okay. You guys worked with a lot of people. Alex Capranos of Franz Ferdinand, to X. Smith, Johnny Marr, to Steve Albini, to Dave Richards, and to the most recent producer you have on board, Rick Ocasek. Who did you enjoy working with the most, and why?
You know, it's difficult to say because, you know, we worked with them all in different ways. Like Johnny was in the band, and he was like a brother, you know, he was like a family to us when he was in the band, which, you know, that makes sense with us being a sibling band. Like we embraced him in the same way. Alex was fun to work with as a producer. It was his first real production job, so it was just really, you know, there's a lot of enthusiasm going on. But then like other stuff, like working with Dave Richards was like a dream for us, you know.
Right.
So they're all just different things. Like Dave Richards we treated very reverentially, and so they were all like different relationships, you know, in a lot of ways.
One thing I will say is I feel like the way that Steve Albini worked was kind of, for me, it was like, you know, the perfect way of working. You know, he has the
Philosophically.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you go in there, and if your songs aren't finished, and you're expecting someone to basically help you make a record, or help you finish a record, that's not the way it's going to work. You know, you go in there and you kind of need your songs finished, and you need to, you know,
you need to have
be somewhat rehearsed, and you just record very quickly. And we have that attitude that we don't really like to spend very long in the studio. We like the songs to be finished, and you know, kind of rehearse and then go in the studio and not spend that much time there. 'Cause it gets, you know, otherwise a record gets stale. You know, you need to capture some kind of excitement.
Right.
Steve's great at that.
Rick Ocasek, like we just worked with, he was similar in the way that, you know, it was all about getting an exciting take. And for us, that's always been our ideology, just not spending too long kind of going over the details.
And Rick was very much on our wavelength as well, so as far as personal relationships go, Rick was, you know, we got on great with him.
That's good. That's important.
Yeah.
These are your first US shows since 2012. Why the wait?
Well, we just, last year, 2013, we put out a compilation record, because it was 10 years since the band had, you know, put our first record out, so we put a compilation record out last year, and just started writing the record. So there's just not really any reason to come on tour. You know, it was more important to be writing and to when we put the compilation record out, we did a few shows in like certain places, but the US is kind of, it made more sense for us to just leave it for a while.
We've kind of taken a break, you know,
Yeah.
we're between labels as well, and like, you know, yeah, we just signed to Arts and Crafts in America, so we're on a new label out here, and you know, that's made a big difference to, you know, now, you know, we have a plan, you know, we want to come here and tour more, and you know, I feel like we're on a label out here that really cares about the band, you know, so it's like, all of a sudden, it just our situation over here makes much more sense, and it has done for a lot of years. But you know, that's not, I mean, we even, you know, over the last few years when we've been taking time off, you know, we didn't forget about America. You know, that was still definitely something that we really want to play, and we always have great shows out here. So
That's good. That's good. That's important. I don't want to group you guys with the garage rock scene, but a lot of people have. and well, especially your critics, do you think you help pave the way? Do you consider to be a part of it? And do you think it's hard to capitalize on the U.S. market today, in the U.S. music industry today?
It's just an ideology. Garage rock to me is an ideology, and I think that the Cribs were a garage rock band, being based on the fact that we rehearsed and recorded in a garage.
We still do, we still do that. We still always, the rehearsal spaces where we write and record, a lot is still either Ross's garage in Wakefield or Guy's basement in Portland. So we still definitely you can talk about it literally. I think we absolutely are a garage rock band, but
rather than a sound, it's more of an ideology. Just like the idea of just making use of what you've got, and like not being precious about stuff too much. Just being more about the energy and the ideas and the enthusiasm. That I think it's accurate in that way. But as far as a label goes, then yeah, there was like a bunch of bands like that when we first came out, or a bunch of bands who had that aesthetic. So I understand why we got labelled with that. As far as like making it or breaking through or whatever, we didn't really think about it that much. At that time it was a trend, so it was probably a bit easy for those bands, but like nowadays it just doesn't really matter. I mean, to me we weren't even looking for a record deal when we got one. I mean, we've never really thought about it in that way. We've never had that. I mean, we've had a long career, bizarrely, because we've never had a careerist kind of mindset. We just haven't. I don't know. We don't think about things in such kind of crass ways. I guess.
All right. For All My Sisters is a great rock album. What are your expectations of the album at this point? And the album is due out March 25th here, and then March 23rd in the UK.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, kind of similar to what Ryan was saying, we don't really have any particular expectations or plans. I mean, it's cool that like we have a fan base who are really, committed to the band. That's been the coolest thing that we've had, like that kind of a dedicated core fan base. So like, it's always nice to know that there's people who are excited about the record coming out. As far as like expectations on a commercial level, I mean, we don't really tend to think about it that much. I mean, the previous records, like they were like top 10 records in the UK, which was like surreal, really. And I mean, I think that's kind of what people are expecting it to do again, but like once you've had those kind of benchmarks, it puts a bit of pressure on, so it's better to not think about it.
I think that we do really have this like really like dedicated kind of like hardcore fan base, and that's, it is really good to know that when we go away to make a record, we know that we're not going to forget about us. Right. We're going to come back and we're going to be at least as like, big as what we were before we went away. But I mean, you don't just want to preach the converted. I think when we make any record, we like hope that more people are going to get turned on to it, and more people are going to like it for the right reasons. That's kind of always what we hope for, I suppose.
Do you find most of your fans young, old, good mix? Do you find UK fans coming over here?
Well, we find that like the fan base is kind of like one of the things that I actually think is really good is that our fan base hasn't grown older with us. I mean, we do have like fans that have been there from the start, but we also noticed that this last tour that we did, or the last lot of touring that we've done, it's like there's a lot of young kids there as well, so it definitely means that people are getting turned on to it when that weren't there when we first came out. It's not just people that that have liked us all along. It's kind of like new people getting into it, and that's important to us because I think that it's important that I remember I was really passionately into records when I was at high school. You know what I mean? And, like I would have bands that I was formative records and stuff when I was at high school. So I like the idea of our records appealing to younger, to a younger audience, because otherwise you do feel like you're preaching to the converted a little bit.
When you've been touring for 10 years, you can kind of tend to see your fan base grow older with you, which means that generally things become more sedate as they go along, you know. And so we're lucky in the fact that it doesn't feel that way, because I'm sure at that point you sort of feel like you're a nostalgia act, you know. And like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I can't really imagine that. I can't really imagine anything less satisfying than that, really. So.
And what can we expect from your live show? What can we expect from your live show in general? People who's never been there?
We
before?
generally we generally don't know what's going to happen at each live show, because we like to weave stuff to. We don't like to plan it. We don't really like to just play the same set list every night. We like to, we wouldn't have fun if we felt like it was kind of like work, and we knew when we showed up to the venue exactly what we would do, exactly how the day was going to pan out. So we don't even really know what to expect from the live show sometimes. But the main thing is that I feel like, and I don't feel embarrassed about saying it, I feel like that we play with a lot of passion, and we don't.
Just try really hard.
Yeah, and every gig is kind of, we don't see any gig as being more important than the other. We don't see like a big festival slot or like a big arena show being any more important than playing at the Mercury Lounge or anything. You know what I mean? So we will, one thing that we can guarantee is that we just play every show with the same degree of passion, and that's that often leaves it. I don't know. I think that people can. I think that that's why we have got a good live reputation. People see us as being a good live band, and I think that that's the difference between us and some bands, is that we don't see it as a job.
That's good. That's good. So tonight, 9:30, Mercury Lounge here in New York City. These guys are playing the Cribs. Thank you so much. And your records again is due out March 25th in the States, and then March 23rd in UK.
In the UK.
Awesome. Thank you, parents, for doing this.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks.